Son, the perfect moment is a myth, and if you keep waiting for it, life will slip past you like smoke through fingers. Regret doesn't knock loudly, it closes doors silently. The truth, the clock is ticking, and the world isn't waiting. Son, I remember a time when I sat at the edge of a decision, heart pounding, stomach tight, thinking maybe, just maybe, if I waited a little longer, the answer would become clearer, the moment would feel more right, the fear would go away, but it never did. Instead, I watched the opportunity slip away like sand through my fingers. A call I didn't make, a dream I shelved, a girl I didn't chase, and I told myself I was being wise, waiting for the perfect time. But that perfection, it's a mirage, a trick of the mind dressed as caution. And the truth is, life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. I've seen men miss everything they wanted because they hesitated. Good ideas die in silence. Love fades when it's not fought for, and ambition dries up in the heat of overthinking. Why I'm telling you this now, not from a place of regret, but from experience. Waiting is not always wisdom. Sometimes it's fear in disguise. And if you don't act, the world will move on without you. I've felt it, I've lived it. Don't let that be your story too. The shift came too late for me. It wasn't some dramatic event, it was a quiet ache. One day, I stood in front of a mirror, a little older, a little heavier, and I realized I had missed more than just chances. I had missed pieces of myself. The bold version of me I once imagined. He never showed up, not because he couldn't, but because I never invited him to. I was too busy waiting for the stars to align, too scared to be messy, too cautious to take the leap. I started seeing people younger than me living with fire, not perfection. And I envied them, not for their success, but for their courage to begin. That's when it hit me. No one is going to hand you the moment. You have to claim it, even if your voice shakes, even if you stumble, especially then. But someday never comes, and over time that hesitation hardens. It becomes a habit and then a personality. Before they know it, they're 40, 50 years old, still talking about the book they were going to write, the business they almost started, the love. They let go because they weren't ready. I've felt that weight. I've watched the clock tick while fear whispered lies. You're not good enough. You need more time. You'll fail. And here's the cruel twist. The more you wait, the harder it gets to move. Action is a muscle, and when you stop using it, it atrophies. That's what no one tells you. The longer you delay, the louder the doubt gets, until even the smallest step feels impossible. That's the descent, son, not a fall, but a quiet fading. And most don't even realize they're slipping, until they're stuck. I've seen it happen to strong men, son, men with talent, ambition, even a spark of something great. But they waited too long. They kept thinking, next week I'll start, next month I'll try. Someday, when things calm down, You know when my life actually started to change. Not when I got braver. Not when I had more money. Not when everything made sense. It was the day I decided to move. Anyway, I sent the message, even though I didn't know what to say. I made the call, even though my hands were shaking. I launched the idea, even though I had no clue if it would work. And something strange happened. The world didn't explode, but doors opened. Not all of them, but enough. Enough to show me that momentum matters more than mastery. That imperfection in motion beats perfection on pause. That sometimes just trying is the miracle. And that confidence isn't what you have before the leap. It's what you build while you're midair. From that point on, I started living differently. I didn't wait for signs, I became one. I didn't chase guarantees, I chased growth. And I learned to make peace with messy starts. You know what changed the most? Not my bank account, not my reputation, but my reflection. I started seeing a man again, a man who dared, a man who failed, but at least showed up. And day by day, brick by brick, I built a life that felt like mine. Not perfect, it's not polished, but real. And that realness brought me peace, the kind no applause can give. That's what I want for you, not a flawless life, but one lived fully, honestly, and urgently, even if you skin your knees along the way. Son, when you look back one day, you won't remember every win. You won't count how many times you got it right. But you will remember the moments you dared. The time you pushed through the fear, spoke up when your voice trembled, jumped before the ground felt steady. And those moments, they shape you. Not because you were perfect, but because you moved. The truth is, the world doesn't belong to the smartest man, or the richest, or the most talented. It belongs to the one who showed up again and again, who knocked on the door before it locked, even with shaky hands. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be in motion, because motion builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. And before you know it, you're no longer the man who hesitated. You're the man who moves, who tries, who lives. That's who I see in you. That's the son I raised. Not flawless, but forward-facing, brave enough to begin. Close your eyes and hear my voice. Son, the clock is ticking. Not to scare you, but to remind you. Every second you hold back, someone else takes a step. So breathe and begin. Push the door before it locks. Speak the truth before silence wins, and live. Not when everything is ready, but because it may never be. Now, make that move. I'm with you.